Hey Jayraj, thanks for the opportunity to talk about the Industrial Internet Consortium. As I know you know, but not everybody listening today will know, the Industrial Internet Consortium was founded, it went public on March 27th, 2014, so we're almost at the 2-year anniversary. We were founded with 5 founding members. At the end of the first year, we were 100 members, and today we're over 250 members. So not only is it growing fast, but the growth is accelerating. And I think the reason why is because we build real world experience. As you and I learned at MIT, actually building something gets a lot further than just writing papers and trying to figure out what it's going to look like in the future. So the Industrial Internet Consortium brings together that ecosystem of companies, that's the large companies, small companies, research organizations, and testing organizations, open source organizations, standards organizations, and says, we need to figure out how the industrial use of Internet of Things technology, or what we call industrial IoT, is going to impact, is going to disrupt these markets in manufacturing, in healthcare, in transportation, in financial services, and lots of other areas. But the best way to predict the future is to invent it, and that's what we're doing. So we're building test beds, as you very well know, and those test beds are then applied to real problems. And we learn from those about disruptive new products and services. And we also learn at the same time requirements and priorities for new standards. That's been a big topic at the quarterly meeting here in Washington, D.C. in March of 2016. So it's obviously an important thing we're doing, and we're delighted, absolutely delighted that Infosys jumped in so early and is so deeply involved in the testbed projects, especially this month when we were happy to announce a joint collaboration project with Industry 4.0 or Industry 4.0, which is, as you know, is a German-led project to define the future of manufacturing or digitalization using the Internet of Things. That's a piece of this overall picture of the industrial Internet. And of course, you are active both in Platform Industry 4.0 and in the Industrial Internet Consortium. So Infosys is in a perfect position to bridge that gap between those architectures, between those test beds, and bring together, help make that collaboration successful. Right?
Yes, absolutely. In fact, I can remember a year ago is when we met at Reston and Infosys joined IIC. And in this process of working different test beds over the year, it has been the succeed fast, fail fast kind of scenario.
Although I think it's only been succeed fast so far.
Absolutely, absolutely. I think we started with each of these test beds. If I start thinking about asset efficiency, industrial digital thread, you have connected care, you have smart cities, water management solutions, you have energy management solutions, you have many new concepts in precision agriculture that we are working, many new concepts in connected vehicles. All of these are a grand learning experience. Every time we go about standing up for these use cases, stand up a reference architecture or a reference stack, we learn a lot about what we need to integrate all the 5 layers of an IoT stack.
So how many test beds are you currently running at the IIC? I know I just came out of a board meeting, steering committee meeting for the Industrial Internet Consortium. So you've got senior executives in there from SAP, Schneider, from Intel, from IBM, from General Electric, from smaller companies but very active companies like Real-Time Innovations that you know well, from MITRE and from Fujitsu. So these people are just looking at the testbed pipeline, we call it, of the testbeds that are coming up through our testbed development program. And Infosys' name is on quite a few of those.
Yes, I think what we see in building these reference solutions or testbeds is that IIC provides us a unique avenue to work with multiple partners. If I just take the asset efficiency scenario, we have National Instruments, we have IBM, we have GE, we have PTC. You have multiple partners helping us stand up the reference stack. So in terms of enabling that kind of an activity, it's been very easy with IIC. So we come in, for example, in connected care scenario, I'm actually talking to Stan from RTI and MDPNP, Dr. Goldman, later today. It's just the enabling cycle is shorter, and it brings everybody into the game with a stake. They come in with an agenda to get things working. So we fail and we succeed at a very rapid pace.
I think it's really clear that it puts Infosys in a leadership position in terms of recognition that you're actually leading the direction of where the Internet of Things is going, and not just by writing papers or doing market surveys, but actually building systems using the Internet of Things in industrial systems.
Absolutely. I think our first test bed was the asset efficiency test bed. And if you look at the 3 distinct reference stacks we stood up, one is with IBM, the other one with GE, there's one with PTC and Bosch. In each of these instances, we learned a lot. When we actually implement and deploy a real solution, the learnings are priceless. I think, and so when we go and demonstrate and actually deploy a solution for the customer, it's already proven, or at least the learning part or the trying out part, most of it is taken up. I mean, we are in execution mode.
So as you know, we've got a tremendous amount of things going at Hannover Messe.
Yes.
April 25th to 29th of this year, 2016, in Hanover, in Germany. That's now only a little over a month away. Get going. And we've just put together a joint program with Platform Industry 4.0, which will last the entire week. It's going to be kicked off with very senior people from 2 major members that are members of both IIC and the Platform Industry 4.0, and also 2 very senior politicians, one from Germany, one from the United States. As you probably know, U.S. is a partner country.
That's
right.
Year.
And it will be chaired by someone who sits on both sides as well. That is going to be moderated by a reporter who's Irish but lived in Germany for many years. And that will kick off an entire week of presentations, some of which will be from you and your team, in fact.
Yes. In fact, thank you. We are looking forward to Hannover. Infosys is traditionally a big sponsor of the Hannover Messe, and last year we had a big presence. Again, the focus on Industrial 4.0. Our engineering services team within Infosys has actually done a lot of research work with Dr. Henning Kagemann and his team at Aachen University. We have the maturity models kind of understood. We have a lot of reference solutions we have built for that marketplace. So I think when I look at the asset efficiency and the IDT test bed, if the notion of bringing together the 2 distinct reference architectures around IIRA, and then which is the IIC reference architecture, and RAMI 4.0, conceptually there is a ton of similarity. So
that's right.
I think they are 2 distinct initiatives, as Henning said last week, right? But the opportunity to bring them together and collaborate on a global scale, not just US and Germany scenario, and also cross-domain. I think IIC excels in that, and while Industry 4.0 has a distinct depth in manufacturing, I think we get to bring all these things together, and I think the opportunity is there.
The learnings cross those boundaries between transportation and healthcare. I mean, for example, I just had the opportunity to brief a large specialty chemicals company on what the Industrial Internet Consortium was doing, and they asked, is anybody else in the specialty chemicals industry already participating? I had to say no, but I said, your supply chain issues look just like the supply chain issues of everybody else.
Absolutely.
Your inventory management, your asset management, all these things look just like every other industry. And I suspect there are some interesting things. As a friend of mine used to say when he went from the music business into the banking business and then back to the music business and back into the banking business, he said, you know, being the CIO of all these companies, it's only about 10% different. 90% is the same from company to company. And that says that the learnings you get out of the test beds are critically important.
No, I completely agree. And, you know, I think we get to demonstrate that at Hanover this year in April. I think the notion of multiple industries using the same layers of the stack and standing up solutions. You know, you could take a connected care solution and whatever edge-related capabilities are there, you could apply to a precision farming solution.
Sure.
And fundamental sensors, the type of data that is being acquired, frankly, the device and IoT management platform itself, they serve multiple industries and domains.
Absolutely.
I completely agree with you.
So I'm really looking forward to see what else comes out of Infosys this year. It's starting to swamp the testbed development process, but they're all useful, important, and we'll get real learning from it, and it actually pulls together the ecosystem. The companies you're talking about are some of the 30 companies that are already involved in the testbeds that we've publicly announced. and there are many more to come. I think we'll more than double this year, in fact.
Absolutely. Thank you, Richard. I think your team is what makes the difference. They facilitate this process, both Michael Lee and Joseph Fontaine, who are running the testbed scenarios. They do an awesome job. So
thank you. I appreciate that.
Pleasure.
It's people like you that make the difference.
Thank you again.